was a bit behind the others, but has jumped off okay. He can be tricky at the start. Edredon Bleu, the former champion, lifts off in front at the first fence, at which Gios was rather slow. Edredon Bleu from Chenkos in the red sleeve jacket. Out wide, the white-faced Latter Lomney as they clear the second, then Flagship Aralis wide. A mistake there by Cadaran. Very nearly dislodged Joe Tizard, who had to sit very tight as they gallop on now towards the third fence at a tremendous lick. And it's Edredon Bleu from Chenkos, Latter Lomney. Tutchev is away towards the inside in a red and yellow striped jacket. Wide is Flagship Uberalis in a big noseband. Moscow Flyer in black and white colours, held up in about 6th place, disputing with Florida Pearl, red jacket, white face. Florida Pearl on his 6th festival appearance, didn't jump that too quickly. Seaboard on the inside, then Cadaran, Native Upmanship and Gios, as Florida Pearl now drops to the tail of the field, racing slightly uphill towards fence number 4, and it's Edredon Bleu from Chenkos and Latter Lomney second and third. Tutchev on the inside, Moscow Flyer. Behind these, Flagship Uberalis obliged to race a bit wide. Reminders already for Gios. The pace is fast and furious. Seaboard on the inside, then Cadaran, Native Upmanship and Florida Pearl the inside of Gios at the tail. Downhill to the next plain fence. Edredon Bleu comes in to take it. Pingo and Tutchev is down there. Tutchev and McCoy on the deck again at this Cheltenham Festival. Tutchev a faller as they now gallop towards the water jump. Edredon Bleu on the near side of Latter Lomney, with Chenkos between horses. Flagship Uberalis, the reigning champion, wide. There's McCoy, none the worst. Will he be an unhappy champion? Moscow Flyer, the favourites, going well in about 5th place. Black and white jacket, Barry Garrity as they jump this next open ditch. Seaboard, the all white colours on the near side, is moving well. Then Native Upmanship from Cadaran and Florida Pearl, and finally Gios. Over the next then, another mistake by Gios there, climbing on the far side. Seaboard drives up the inside of Edredon Bleu now as they make this top turn. Latter Lomney 3 horses wide, followed by Moscow Flyer in a good position. Chenkos wider out is Flagship Uberalis. Then in the dark blue, Native Upmanship at the big ditch. The ditch marked danger, top of the hill, and they all clear it safely. And it was Latter Lomney that picked up first there, but Seaboard is right on terms on the inside. Moscow Flyer, Edredon Bleu becoming a bit outpaced. Then Chenkos on the outside, Flagship Uberalis and Native Upmanship, and they've kicked clear of the others headed by old Florida Pearl. Down the hill then, 3 fences to jump in the Queen Mother champion chase, and it's Seaboard on the near side of Latter Lomney. Behind horses, Native Upmanship, Moscow Flyer wider out, moving well. Then Chenkos and Flagship Uberalis, this is 3 out. Latter Lomney left, landed just ahead there from Seaboard. Moscow Flyer challenging on the outside. Native Upmanship in 4th place from Chenkos and Flagship Uberalis, now under strong pressure. Here's the second last, 3 horses in a line here. Who rises first? Seaboard, and he's down, so too Latter Lomney, down at the second last, 2 years running. The favourites left clear. Moscow Flyer left clear at the second last and turns for home with a commanding lead over his compatriot Native Upmanship. Chenkos is 3rd, then the reigning Flagship Uberalis in 4th place. The final fence coming up then for last year's Arkle winner. Moscow Flyer draws towards it, jumps it well. Native Upmanship 2nd last year, looks booked for 2nd again. Chenkos is 3rd, up the hill, and the favourite's going to win the big race of the day. It's Moscow Flyer striding away with this. The champion chaser, Moscow Flyer, wins the Queen Mother. In 2nd is Native Upmanship for the 2nd year. Chenkos 3rd again. Then Gios, Flagship Uberalis, Edredon Bleu, Cadaran and Florida Pearl too short for him. Well, Moscow Flyer, Barry Garrity, what a week he's having. 2 winners on the first day, and this was the one that counted though. Moscow Flyer, the 7-4 favourite, many people's idea of the banker bet at this year's Cheltenham Festival. A horse who's done precious little wrong since winning here 12 months ago. He was unlucky to clip heels in the Tingle Creek earlier on in the season, but other than that, it's been a blemish-free record. But it all changed here at the second last, a dramatic turning point. Both Seaboard and Latter Lomney alongside, that appears to be Latter Lomney, and how his connections must feel hard done by, because last season the horse was in front when jumping the second last. There's Vinnie Keane, he's despairing terrible moment for him and Latolomni's connections. 2 years running, down at the second last. Seabold also down at the second last, leaving the winner, Moscow Flyer, clear to record a decisive victory.
Right, Barry Geraghty. That all went according to plan. What was the one moment that you were worried about, Barry?
Just the ditch. I went down. I was all over the leading pair, and I was meeting it long, and I squeezed them up, and he just guessed it because he'd no room. I was all over them, really. I was all over them, crossing the quick into the third last. Had me on the stretch, but I had the two that fell beaten. At the second last. I outjumped him completely, and he didn't do a stroke up the straight. But
They seemed to go a cracking gallop. It was
went a good gallop early, but they steadied up and went a nice pace on the back, and it just left a bit of a rush from the fourth last.
Were you aware of the roar of the crowd when you were looming large there?
He was aware of it even. It's unbelievable. Thanks.
Well done, Barry. I'm about to get crushed to bits here.
Moscow Flyer, an 11-4 and 5-2 chance generally this morning, only 9-4 with a Toten Coral, back down on the course from 5-2 return, the 7-4 favourite, Moscow Flyer, and is a huge anti-post loser for virtually every bookmaker who bets anti-post. The runner-up is Native Upmanship, second last year to Flagship Morales, second again, this time at 12-1. Chenkos was third at 7-1. And that Moscow Flyer, the 14th favourite in 44 runnings to win it. The 15th time Ireland have won the race. Karen Davis did it in 96, the last to do it. And the 5th winner of the Arkle to come on the next year and win the Champions Race. 7-4 favourite. Genesis Bismarck, like every bookmaker on the track, they have done their money. A huge loser right round the ring and right round the country. The Irish roaring home. Moscow Flyer, they are ecstatic. 7-4 favourite for our morning line guest, Barry Geraghty.
After him since he was 11 hands.